Good Sunday morning, Spirit Session watchers and fans and followers. We are so happy to have you here today. Look, Teresa's giving us our sage clearing, our Sunday sage. Come in, come in, come in. Invite your friends and share this out. Share this out. And we're on YouTube and we're on Periscope. So somewhere in this world you can watch us. We always bring you the best guests and we always bring you light to your Sunday. No matter how heavy the world feels or how heavy you feel, come in and watch us. We're sure to make you smile at least once and lighten your load. So come on in, share out, and we're happy to see you here. Comment, let us know you're here, and we're just waiting to see we're going live. I'm sure very shortly there we're live. So Teresa, would you introduce our friend who we've known for a long time, but we're just trying to figure out all the connections with? And she's changed and grown since we first met her. So,
oh my gosh, it's true.
yeah. So why don't you give her?
Yes, well, as Rhonda is saying, we've known Laura for a long time and we've been wanting to get her on. I just think nobody decided who was going to ask. So, so she came to us. So it's like, this is what we wanted for so long. And thank you. And everyone here, I want you to feel in to the beautiful energy that Laura has. Don't you feel calm in that energy? Don't you feel like you're being gently taken care of as you move forward? You know, like if you're getting in the pool and someone's guiding you along. This is what Laura's energy feels like to me. I've had some amazing Akashic Records readings with her that were so unique, but the way she takes us in is so beautiful too. And so we've known her through some of our friends like Marla Torres and through the Akashic Academy and Emily, and all these great minds just flock together, it seems, and so it's pretty exciting. And I want to mention Jessica Degas too, because
Oh yeah.
we've got that connection as well. So we welcome all of you, and we welcome you, Laura. Welcome to Spirit Sessions at last.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so
It's so
cool.
nice to connect with all of you. I'm so eager to just like jump into the records together and just hear what they have to bring through and offer love and healing to everybody.
So you
That would
see,
be
this is what's
amazing.
so cool. Doing this stuff from the Akashic Records, it's so amazing. Now, you've been a therapist for 16 years already, and then
Mhm,
you've added your modalities to what you've
mhm.
been doing. I mean, can you give me a little bit of your history and what that was like, finally adding, the Akash and Reiki to what you do?
Yeah, well, it was completely new world and a completely new education for me because I've been a therapist for over 16 years and I'm very successful and very happy with what I do. But then I got sepsis about 4 years ago and it really sidelined me. And the universe had been trying to get my attention for a couple of years prior to that, as well with other events happening in my life. And I did listen, but clearly I wasn't listening enough or to the intensity that I needed to. Because I truly think that sepsis is the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly, because again, I was pretty happy.
Wow.
I have a very happy relationship with my husband. I have 3 beautiful children. And like I said, my career has been going fine. So I wouldn't have looked to do anything differently. And I thought everything was good and it was good. But then when the Akashic Records entered my life, when I only got so far with the medical world, I started looking into alternative forms of healing. So I went to naturopaths and energy healers and tried a bunch of different modalities. And what I found, which to me was like mind boggling because this was a whole new world for me. I've always been spiritual, but it was more religious. And so when this came into my world, I started to realize every time I'm in the Akashic Records, I have no pain. I'm not dizzy. I don't feel nauseous. And then when I leave the records, I have an enormous amount of energy, like more than I had prior to sepsis. And so I was like, this is interesting. I think I need to spend more time in this space because it's healing me. And even my husband said, who was so not a believer, he's like, I don't know what you're doing. Just keep doing it because it's working. Like, you're getting better. And so it got to the point where even just being attuned to this frequency and the adjustments in my own energy, I started to see shifts in some of my chronic clients that I had been working with. And I started to see some ahas and some cognitive shifts and some energetic shifts. And I was like, oh, this is so fascinating. And so it became very clear to me that I felt irresponsible not sharing this with the collective. Seriously. Like I started feeling that when I would show up with my clients, I wasn't being fully authentic. And I felt like I knew what the answer was. I knew it would help them, but it wasn't traditional, right? It wasn't in that traditional therapeutic approach. And so that's why I created this second business on the side, because I was like, listen, for people who are feeling stuck and who are willing and able to think outside of the box and be open to this modality, you know, I would love to share this with you. And so a lot of my clients have really been receptive to some of the energy work as well. And it's made mind-blowing changes in their lives too. And I love it. It's so wonderful to see these people that I care about, some of them that I've known for years, really opening up and releasing some of these chains that they felt bound by.
Oh man,
Is she
I
still
feel like
frozen?
I'm frozen.
Nope, I think it's Laura that's frozen.
Okay, Laura.
You were frozen for a
honing
moment.
in on your energy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
really?
you blew the circuits, Laura. Yeah. So let's see what happens. I think now would be a good time to go into the records then, if we can get this settled down.
Yeah, you want me to do that? Can you guys hear me and see me?
Yes.
I
It's
hear
you're
you and
glitching out
see
a
you.
little bit. You're blinking out. But we're hearing you a little bit better now.
Okay. Okay, good.
To make sure
All right.
nobody else is on the Wi-Fi in your house, which is always fun. Nobody likes to do that.
He likes to do that.
Stay off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so
Stay off the Wi-Fi.
do you feel like everybody in the audience knows what the Akashic Records are? Do you want me to give a brief idea of what those are before we enter?
You know, I want you to give your own brief, because I think even though we've all learned them, we've all had so many different experiences there that it's unique. And I want to hear your authentic teaching on it.
Perspective, yeah.
Okay. Sure. No, I'm a very visual person, so I really like to see the Akashic Records as this spiritual library that exists in the clouds, right? And it has it has a million books, millions, gajillions. I don't even know what the highest number is, infinity, of books of all of the souls that have ever kind of sparked into creation. And so there's a book on all of those souls, and this library is held safe and protected by angels and guides and loved ones and ascended masters. And when we open up that book of ourselves, it has all the information about our soul from its first spark through past lives, current life, and future lives. So I like to call it Google for the soul, because you get to go in there and really ask anything you want. And you're going to get clarity in your answer that's really aligned with what you're ready to integrate at the time. And also just what's in alignment with your soul's purpose and where you're meant to go.
Do you also feel, and you kind of said, you also feel that just being in that space is healing. Like there's like, because it's like that source space, we get that direct download of that source energy, and we can all experience that healing just from having a light bath in the records, like what we call a light bath.
I know. That's what I love about it. I mean, and as a practitioner too, it's so nice because you get healing at the same time that you're guiding other people to heal and opening them up to their own healing, right? So it's beautiful because you don't even have to do anything in that space. You can just open it and sit there, and you're receiving healing and you're upgrading your being just by being there, which is fascinating.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
so we'd love you to
take us in.
Take us in.
All right, let's do it. We're going to start with a meditation, and then I'm going to open with 5 ohms. So on the 5th ohm, we're going to state our names. So if everybody wants to open my records, I really don't know that you want to hang out in my records on this happy little Sunday. So use your own name when we get to the 5th ohm, and I will prompt you to do that. But typically you want to use either the name that's on your birth certificate or the name that's on your driver's license. But really whatever feels like you. So some people just use their first name. Some people use first and middle or first and last. So just feel into what feels like you, get an idea of what that is, so that when we start this process, you can smooth sail right into your records. All right. So everybody close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Releasing anything that no longer serves you on the exhale. Another deep breath in. Pausing at the top. And releasing very slowly. Try to make your exhale longer than your inhale. And then another deep breath in, expanding your heart space in the front and the back. And releasing very slowly, and then pausing at the bottom of the breath. And just stay there at the bottom of the breath until you feel you need to inhale again.
She just planked out. She'll be back, I'm sure. And just everybody just stay in that calm space. I'm sure she'll be right back. I'll just hold her some space for her.
I'm glad you said that, because I was sitting at the bottom of the breath and wasn't breathing. I would have sat there for a long time.
Everybody just keep breathing into your center, breathing into your core. Or just get that beautiful, relaxed light, feeling your light body inside yourself light up. As you breathe in, you can see your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown chakra light up with every breath. And she's back. She's coming back. There, you're back.
Am I back?
You're back. We've just been breathing and lighting,
Yeah,
and
but
lighting
breathing
up our,
slow and deep.
lighting up our chakra system. With every
Beautiful.
breath.
We're gonna bring some angels in during this process for this technology as
I'm
well.
gonna bring my smoky quartz in here, dragon in. So
Oh, Melinda created that so she could finish eating her lunch. Brilliant.
awesome.
There's a reason for
ready now?
everything. There's a reason for everything. All right, so continue to breathe, please, slowly and deeply, at
Okay.
a pace that's comfortable for you. And then allow your breath to extend down below your feet. Send your exhale down into the earth, past the crust of the earth, through the moist soil, entering the root system, allowing yourself to envision these roots expanding with your life force energy so that they can grow even further out and extend to reach more and more people as we do this work. And as you inhale, I want you to pull up all of the medicinal healing that exists in this root space, integrating it into your cells, into every system of the body. And then sending your next exhale down past the root system into the crystalline caves of Mother Earth. We allow ourselves to really envision and feel into this energy that's swirling around us here, picking up all of this magical energy from the crystals and bringing forward inspiration and motivation. And I want you to inhale all of this momentum on your next in-breath. And then send your breath down again, past the crystalline caves, into the sacred waters of Mother Earth, where here you allow your physical body to really swim and be fully bathed in this warm, translucent, sparkling pond of water. Allowing the water to lap against you, soothing your joints, and infusing your bloodstream and your immune system with nourishment. And inhale all of this soothing energy on your in-breath. And then send our final breath down to into Mother Earth, beyond the sacred waters, into the core center of Mother Earth, where there's a liquid, hot, magenta energy here. Unconditional love just boiling up and waiting to be shared. Shared with the world, shared with the universe. Up into our feet, warming our energy. We allow you to extend beyond Earth. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, she froze again on us. Too much energy. Okay. Just keep feeling that Mother Earth energy go up your legs, enter into your root chakra. Keep feeling it rise there, clearing that root chakra energy. We can pull that energy up into our sacral chakra, glowing beautiful orange, rising that energy of Mother Earth, clearing all our sacral chakras, opening our creativity. Let's bring it up into our solar plexus, our seat of ourselves, our seat of our worthiness, clearing out anything that makes us feel unworthy, taking it down back to Mother Earth, anything negative in our chakras, letting it be cleansed and transmuted into light. Take that energy up into our heart chakra. Mother Earth energy, expanding our heart chakra, opening up our heart chakra, that emerald green heart chakra, circulating it through our heart chakra, opening it up and expanding it so we can love and be loved. Beautiful energy. Feeling that Mother Earth energy circulate from our heart chakra to every cell in our body, waking up all that ancient DNA, bathing every cell in that Mother Earth love. And we'll continue pulling up that energy up into our throat chakra. Here's where we need to speak our truth through the filter of love and kindness, opening up our throat chakra so we're brave to speak our truth through the filter of love and kindness. I'm just trying to add Laura to the stream. There she is. So she's going to take over. We've brought Mother Earth energy up to our throat chakra.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm trying this in my daughter's room to see if it helps things.
Okay.
Sorry, friends. I typically don't have these kinds of issues.
No problem. It's just all that energy. So that's okay. So we brought it all up to the throat chakra. We've cleared our throat chakra.
Brilliant.
With energy. We've just got the last two to clear if you're going up that way.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for continuing this beautiful process and holding space and having patience. So we're going to continue to move this up through our third eye, allowing this energy to soothe this space, because this is a space that's going to open when we're in the space of the Akashic Records. So offering it compassion and nourishment and delicacy, and allowing ourselves to move up to our crown, just above the top of our head. And really allowing yourself to envision this crown opening. and receiving unconditional love, knowing that when we enter the space of the Akash, it is the safest, most unconditionally loving space that we can be vulnerable, that we can open up our heart space. And we allow this energy to extend up beyond our crown, following this crystalline tube of light that runs up down our spine. We want this energy that's extending upward to meet up with this tube so that we can extend it beyond the space in which we're sitting, beyond the earth, beyond the stars, the moon, the galaxy. And we root this tube into a space in the Akash. And as we travel up this tube and we peek over the edge, we get a sense of the endless, boundless, infinite space that exists here, full of light beings that are so eager to be with us, so eager for this energy and for co-creating together. And we breathe in this high vibration, champagne-colored energy and bring it back down this tube of light into our physical bodies, allowing this energy to mix with that warm Mother Earth energy and distribute this harmonized energy through the tips of our toes and the tips of our fingers and the top of our heads. And it's from this space that we will sound the 5 sacred ohms to open up our Akashic records. You can repeat after me, or you can listen in until we speak our names at the end. With this ohm, I relax my body. With this ohm, I relax my mind. With this ohm, I release my ego and all judgment in this space. With this ohm, I call in the light, all knowledge and healing. With this ohm, I open up the Akashic records of and fill in your name here, Laura Nat Mazzotta. The records are now open. Just take a moment to continue keeping your eyes closed and your breath moving, allowing your physical body to adjust to this high frequency space, allowing all of our guides, ascended masters, angels, and loved ones to assemble around us. And it's now that there's a good time to ask, what is it that I need to know right now? And you could find that you get images coming into your mind, that you could hear things, that you can sense things either emotionally or in your physical body, or there's something new that you just know all of a sudden. And you may not get anything, and that's okay too. Just being in this space is so nourishing and so healing for all of us who are present here on the replay. I'm just going to take a moment to bring in a message for the collective and see what the Akashic Records want to bring forward for us. I know one of the things that they are bringing through is this really bold, powerful energy. Like they really, really want us to be bold right now, to not shy away, to not hide, to not shrink back. That if there's something that we're thinking and we're hesitating to say it, that we want to take the opportunity to do that, whether it's publicly or with a particular relationship or in a particular situation in your life, that you're not doing anyone any favors by keeping your mouth shut, because there's so many people out there who feel alone. And there's so many people out there who feel different or feel isolated or feel like they don't fit in. and for you to be able to show up authentically and boldly so that you're not hiding and you're being really clear and powerful with your words, you're going to be drawing in those people who really need that sense of belonging. It's an invitation, really. And so they're asking you to share your energy really authentically. So let me know if there's anybody out there that this resonates with. But they're really calling us to step into our power, like be really, really bold. And they actually asked me to pull a card from the Goddess Power Oracle deck. They've been telling me this for like 2 days. So I pulled one just before we opened the records, which is a good thing since I had to relocate myself. It was already pulled, so I got to grab it and run. So I pulled it from the Goddess Power Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. This is a beautiful deck, and it's a very powerful deck. And goddess energy, divine feminine energy, is it's all about ease and flow, but it's also about bold power, right? So it's about both. It's about saying, you know, I can sit back and allow myself to just be my authentic self at the same time that I'm embodying my power and sharing that with others. Okay, so the goddess that we got for today is Goddess Sophia, divine wisdom.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that third eye and that crown, just so lit up, right? She is ready to take on the world. They're ready for us to put on our crowns today, my friends. So I'm going to read you both the empowerment and the alignment message. And I kind of jump around a little bit just because I like to bring through what they're signaling when we're doing this work. So this card talks about that human wisdom comes from personal experience, but divine wisdom is unknown to our life experience, which is why being in the space of the Akashic Records is so beautiful, because what we do is we allow ourselves to be this open vessel and this open channel. We don't have to think, we don't have to rack our brains, right? We simply need to receive and transmit this information. And sometimes that can be challenging because we get confused. We don't know exactly what they're saying. We don't know exactly what we're intending in that moment because we're simply receiving, right? So consciously, we may not know, but it's important for us to just allow that to flow through, and that the people around you, whether you're using the right words or not, are going to receive the frequencies that you're transmitting. So she says, Sophia says, she's here with us, right? When we ask for help, we're asking for guidance from a source greater than us, a great unknowable mystery. When we receive it, it is often life-altering and affects us in ways beyond our comprehension. And that's what's so beautiful about the Akashic Records and about this journey. That's been so good for me and so good for so many people I know, is it's the ultimate form of surrender. The ultimate, it can be very scary as well, right? Like I used to get very anxious when I went into the records at the beginning because I was like, what are they going to bring forward? And what kind of changes are they going to ask me to make that I don't want to make, right? So it's a perfect way to bust through our human stubbornness and like really controlling, like fixating on an agenda, right? So it says that Goddess Sophia brought the material world into being, and she shows you how fate and destiny operate in relationship to synchronicity. When you least expect it, opportunities and meetings spring up as if out of nowhere. Your life begins to work out and you sense your alignment with a higher purpose and power. Trust you are divinely protected and directed. Practice the act of faith before results. This is an essential key in co-creating your world. Now I know why they brought this forward, because literally every post that I've made over the past 48 hours has had all of these messages in it. Because one of the things I wrote was, the universe is smarter than you, right? Like divine intelligence always knows better than us, even if we're the smartest humans on the planet, right? And the other thing was I just posted about, you know, investing in yourself before you necessarily have the money to do so, or the guarantee that you're going to reach certain results, right? So it's about not being attached to that outcome and really trusting the universe, those ultimate leaps of faith. When I first started this journey, I remember seeing that meme, leap and then that will appear. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. I needed to leap and I wasn't really ready to. I never would have done it if I hadn't kind of had to, right? With where I was physically. And so it's really beautiful that now that's what I'm trying to help people understand, is to be preventive so that you don't have to get knocked off of a horse. I know you didn't fall off a horse, Rhonda, but
I did fall off a horse yesterday.
you did fall off a horse.
Yesterday.
Knocked off of a horse, or, you know, get sepsis to be able to learn these lessons, right? The more that we surrender, But sometimes we still have to get knocked over the head if it's a deeper lesson that we're just, we need to integrate even more deeply. So don't kick yourself for that. But this just says that when you're disconnected from your higher power, you begin to believe that you alone are the source of abundance in life. It's wise to commit to a conscious and deliberate daily connection to a higher power. When you forget to do this, you place too much attention on materialism, work, money, goals, and the like. This goddess is here to remind you it's the spiritual aspect and the invisible aspect, the essence of your desires, that means more than the form. You may be mistaking something false for divine guidance right now. Come back into alignment and receive true divine guidance from wishful thinking or ego attachments. Let the goddess Sophia guide you to your magic. The most beautiful and meaningful expression of yourself is waiting for you. So she was very friendly today, brought forward a lot of beautiful messages that are so synchronistic with what's been coming up in my world lately as well. How did that feel for you guys?
That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's funny because when we got to the Akashic records and, opened them up, and right away you said, see if there's any messages. And I saw literally them reaching in front of me and grasping this like hard shell I have around me. Because I've kind of gone through a dark night of the soul for the past 2 months. Like I hit 40 and then like, I was like, okay, what happened? But it was like I had so much to purge from previous 40 years apparently. So for 2 months I've been working on purging, and it was like they took this shell and they peeled it away, and I saw this beautiful like iridescent glowing light body, and it looked like her in the shell. Wow. It was me. Yeah, it looked like her, had the hair like hers, like it was, but it was all like a light body. So when you showed me the picture, it kind of flipped me out a little bit. But yeah, that was cool.
Wow, that's powerful, Beck.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to shake off all of that. So thank you for that. It really resonates so much.
And
you're so welcome. Go ahead, Rhonda.
And falling off the horse, that was funny. But I just realized in this point in time, if I had just trusted myself, I bailed, which if I had just trusted myself and my own set of skills, I would have stayed on. I wouldn't have had a problem. She wasn't trying to get me off. It was just like a little freaky thing that happened. I should have just stayed. I bailed. I didn't commit to staying on. And that's kind of a real kind of a metaphor for you got to commit to staying where the course of your life. And trust yourself, and trust that the universe does have your back, and that the divine plan is already there, and you'll make it through. Don't bail.
Trust the divine horse has you too.
Yeah. My divine horse has you too. It wouldn't hurt so much. That's a hard lesson to learn.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point. I love that.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I see this with some of my clients too. When I first started doing this work with some of my clients that I've seen for a while, it's funny because like I'll sit with them and we'll be talking about something that's existing in their life or a situation they're trying to resolve. And I'm like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that you're going to be moving forward in this way or in that way, based on how you view things and et cetera. And then we open their records and the records are like, yeah, no, you're both wrong. And it's so humbling, but it's also so phenomenal that we have access to this level of divine intelligence. Like I can be, again, the smartest person in the world and sitting across a client and the best therapist ever, but I can't see their soul path just by staring at somebody, right? And like even knowing them on a human level. So it's being able to say like, what are you destined for? Like, what is that true soul desire versus your egoic desire? And I think that can be hard for people to tell the difference between.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the clarity. It's about silencing that mind so that you can receive the true divine mission, the messages and all of that. Because there's so many times that we get so stuck in trying to figure things out that we lose the purpose, So when you get into the Akashic records, it shuts down that need to figure things out, because at that point you're just receiving stuff. Whatever's coming through, you have to lose the human filter, just let it come through, right? So it really helps simplify.
I'm so glad you said that, because it's so true. That's one of the biggest keys is like, if you find yourself searching or racking your brain or like tortured over a decision, you're not in alignment. You're not, you're not just channeling from source and determining, what's really on your path. You're stuck in figuring it out. And that's using your mind, which our mind is a helpful tool, but it's only part of it. We use our minds as well in the Akashic records. We can, we can kind of put those tools together, but it's being able to be really clear between what's your ego and what's spirit. And that just takes time and practice and adjustment to the frequency. And that's, I think, what steers some people from this path, is that they want that quick fix, right? I know I wanted that quick fix, but nothing was really working. So I was like, well, I'm laying in bed anyway. I guess I have to be patient, right? At that time. And it was good that I was in a way forced to be in that space to have to just receive, because I was like hyper masculine energy before that. And then I switched over to super feminine. And now I'm like, all right, I'm finding my balance here.
Yeah. I was thinking it's a lot like cooking, like using your mind. And, you read the recipes as they're written down, but as you become and that's what you do at the beginning, right? You go follow the recipe, but as you use that recipe, you tweak it. And that's not using your mind, that's using your intuition, your spirit, what you've learned. And that's sort of like what you have to do with life too. It's just sort of start listening to your heart and going with that, because it makes a better end product in the end, right? When you put those extra spices in or leave out something, that it's going to work out better.
That leads me to ask, has anybody actually tried cooking through the Akashic records? Have you actually tried it? That might be cool.
I have not tried it. And you know why? Because my husband's the cook in my house.
I don't cook either. I'm awful. But I'm thinking maybe I could cook if I open the records and then, because again, it's going to bring through whatever is best for you.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be very cool.
It's funny you brought that up too, because the example that I was just going to bring forward after Rhonda was talking was that one of the greatest ways to start listening to your intuition and practicing with that is to kind of wake up in the morning and just take a 24-hour period where you're just going to listen to your energy or your intuition. So it's like, all right, what do I feel like doing when I wake up? Do I want to shower first? Do I want to go have a cup of tea first? What is it that I want to do? And then when you're going through your day in terms of choosing food choices, just saying before you eat, how does this feel in my energy? And how is my energy going to feel after I consume this food? And just starting to go through your day and just making choices like that, right? Because they're minor, they're little, it's not going to upset. It's not like you're just going to shift careers all of a sudden and start there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those are the kinds of changes that can get scary for us. And so when you start slowly and you start getting used to, oh, I just feel so much lighter. My body feels more energetic, and start to notice how your energy shifts when you just listen to those tiny little levels of communication from your body or from your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Nancy says she's cooked with the records open. Of course, Nancy, you're amazing. She says it was some great cooking, but don't go look at puppies or kitties with the records open, because they will all come home with you.
That is so true.
I love that.
Well, and I do many times. In fact, a lot of the time, I clear my food and my water with Akashic energy before I'll consume it. I do plasma infusions every Friday for my immunodeficiency. And so I clear those with Akashic energy before I infuse. And it's just magical. I feel like everything turns into gold when you're using the Akashic energy. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Amazing tool to have. Yeah, absolutely.
And just sitting in your records, like you say, it's just healing. You don't even have to go in and ask for certain things. You just go in and be in that space, and all that energy comes in. And I know my clients just enjoy being in that space with me. And when I work on the Reiki with them or whatever, it's double. And we're at soul to soul connection, and we're getting source from all sources. It's just
I remember when I first used Reiki in the records, and I remember messaging Emily Harrison, who was my mentor at the Akashic Academy, and I just said, I feel like a powerhouse. Using Reiki in the records. Oh my goodness, right? That was a big aha for me at the time. But one of the things I was going to share too, based on what you said, Rhonda, is starting out in this journey when you're first getting used to the records, it's helpful to be very specific, very specific about the questions you ask, and very specific about what you're kind of intending, unless you're just going in there to take a light bath and chill and get some healing. But because if you leave it too open-ended, they're going to bring in whatever they feel is aligned at that time, which is great. But it might be too confusing and a little bit, you're not going to necessarily get those specific answers that you're looking for when you're first learning. Because now when I go into the records, I literally never go in with an agenda or questions. I mean, sometimes I do, but very, very, very rarely. Now I just open them up and I just say, what do I need to hear? And I just allow them to bring forward and download whatever it is that we need to hear at the time. But that's more of an advanced practice, you know, because I know how to communicate with them now. But it's like a relationship. And this is what I love to tell people. Just like if you meet somebody on the street, you've got to figure out like, all right, how do they tick? How do they communicate? How do we connect together? Like, how is this flow between us? And it takes some time, maybe a few months or so before you start getting to a greater level of comfort with this new person. And it's the same thing with the records. It's a relationship and they communicate in a different language. They don't have, you know, language is a human construct, right? So they don't communicate that way. So it's just getting used to how do they communicate and how do we connect? And then once you get used to that, you're going to sink into what feels right for you. And everybody has their unique way of using the space.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to just leave my records open for the end of the show. I'm not going to close my personal records because they'll close automatically later on. But you know,
yes, spend the day in the records.
Yes.
Day in the records.
I need that.
Well, for some people, we probably should close them because it's overwhelming, and you get spacey if you're in there all the time.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you're really grounded for sure. Like, especially if this is new for you, make sure that you ground, drink lots of water, put your feet on the earth, have a snack, you know, grab a grounding mat, but definitely make sure that you ground so that you don't feel like you're a space cadet for the rest of the day. Yeah. Which I'm pretty cool with feeling like a space cadet much of the time.
Yeah. But
pretty good with that.
Yeah. Probably not good to go operate heavy equipment if you're in the records.
No. Please don't go or like do surgery on someone, please.
Yeah. Unless it's because you need to do it because you need that extra help.
Yeah.
But know what your intent is, you know, and that's, definitely.
Yeah, because I actually find that I get so much clarity when I'm in this space. Like I can focus better. I can concentrate better. Teresa, you're nodding your head. You feel the same way?
Yeah, the clarity is what I really started leaving my records open for because it brings in that clarity and, you know, it naturally closes. Like the minute you get worried about something or, you know, obsessed or something. But when you're in that meditative flow all day long, to me, I feel like I'm staying in my heart and I'm listening to my intuition. And that is what brings me the clarity instead of me being up here trying to guess, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. Because once your frequency shifts and you're not aligning with this higher frequency of the records, that's when they close. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people open them before they go to bed because they like to set intentions for their dream time, or they like to request messages or healing or transformation during their dream time. I tried that and it was an epic fail because for me, the records jazz me up so much. They energize me, which is exactly what I need. And it's brilliant. But if I do it at night, I tried it. I was literally up until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, downloading courses and programs. I mean, I was wide awake. So I was like, well, that didn't work.
I guess not on the right level. No.
But some people, it doesn't have that effect. So that's why, again, like a relationship, you got to learn, like when you leave this space, how do you feel? How does it impact your energy? You know?
For sure.
And how can you use it? You can download specific protocols too, you know, for specifically, all right, what do I need to do and when and how? And I think that's what helps some people, especially at the beginning, because they feel like, I don't know how to implement this into my life. Like this feels great and it's real nice and compassionate and all that, but how do I use it? Like, how do I actually integrate it into my life? And that's why I think it's really important for people to know that you just ask.
I know one more thing too is that when you are wanting to do the classes at an appropriate hour and stuff, and when you are wanting downloads, that it really is good to open up the records with the intention and to be in that space of where you're getting the creative ideas that you're looking for, or how can you bring this concept and that one over there all together into a flow and stuff. And so that's always kind of fun too.
So fun. Creating in this space is magical.
So Laura, can you tell us what's on the docket? Like, what are you offering? Like, what do you do? And just kind of give us just like what's new for you coming up. Promote yourself, in other words. We'd like
Oh,
you
okay,
to
sure.
let you so our audience knows we've got all the links for you. So
awesome. So I have a course right now that just started, and this is the last week that we're enrolling, and it's called Thrive. And this one gives me chills every time I talk about it because it's so near and dear to my heart, because this is a course. It's a 7-week course, and I'm doing this with another medium, with a psychic medium, Daisy Farrell, and it's to help anybody who has chronic symptoms. So this could be physical illness, it could be mental illness, it could be just chronic guilt or self-doubt, but any kind of chronic symptom. And chronic is really defined as 2 years or more for adults. And no matter how much they've tried and racked their brains and hit their head against a wall, they aren't making that progress that they're hoping for, and they're feeling kind of discouraged and defeated. And so Daisy has struggled with mental health issues, and she's also struggled with fibromyalgia. I obviously have been recovering from chronic illness for a number of years. And so we have these protocols that have come forward for us that have brought us the most relief and the most healing that we're bringing forward to other people. And we're teaching them how to reach the same level of healing that we've been able to experience with energetic and spiritual modalities. And it's just such a gift. I mean, it makes me cry every time. I just get choked up every time I want to talk about it, because it's something that I know I needed and wanted so badly at the beginning of this journey. And I was so confused, and I didn't know who to trust, and I didn't know where to go and how to do this, and so we're teaching people how. And we already worked on the physical layer of the body, and then we worked on the energetic layer last week. So this week we're going to be diving into the spiritual and opening our records and really navigating that space. So I'm really excited to offer a comfortable space for people to do this work.
Excellent. And they can reach you through your links that you've provided here?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, through that. So just take a look at the information. You can drop them in the comments too if you want to afterwards, and people can get a hold of you. Just comment if you want to get a hold of Laura, and she'll answer you back through the comments or message her. Is that a good way? Like, go to your Facebook page and message you, or?
Yeah, you can go through Messenger for sure. You can send me an email, which is emergehealingandwellness@gmail.com. But I also, I'm all over Facebook, so you can just find me there, and you can tag me in a comment, or you can send me a message in Messenger for sure.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So Bex, you have one question.
I do. I'm so quiet in the records. I feel so settled.
I know, me too.
Just get so quiet. So the big question is, if you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
Titanium.
Good song. Who is that?
I don't, David Guerra or something?
David Guetta.
Guetta, is it?
Okay.
And is it Sia too?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
And I play it, terrible with my music knowledge, but I put that on every time to pump myself up and to remind myself who I am, and
your bulletproof.
It gets me going, right? Because it's funny, because it's like I went from this period where I was so intensely focused on my physical body to realizing that my physical body is it's a temple, right? I'm honoring it as a temple, but it's not me at all, right? It's simply the vessel that's carrying me. And that's so empowering. And that's what I love so much about this work, is it's so much more empowering that we can give people these tools and skills to be able to do it on their own, that they don't have to rely on a therapist long term, And it's just beautiful to see people coming into their own. I love it.
Yeah.
I have and I'm just going to say this too quickly because I have to. I'm so proud of my certification students because I'm currently in the middle of my certification program where I'm certifying people in Akashic Records, and they're all starting to just really come into their own unique niche within the records and their gifts and starting to offer them. And I'm like, yes, this is what this is about. Because I just want to scream it from the rooftops and have everybody be able to share and heal and reach more and more people, It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
like Reiki. Everybody in the world had Reiki level 1. We wouldn't have any problems.
Mhm.
Just we know we are all connected, and we're all the same. We're all the same. We've got the same source in us all. We'd feel it all, and everybody would feel that, and they'd really know that no matter what way they come from it, that's the core of it all. So it's the way I feel. And the records are just one stepping stone up from there. So
yeah. So do you want me to close up the records for everybody except you, Rhonda?
Well, yeah, close up the records for everybody who wants to be closed, and everybody else can just whatever.
Yeah, if you guys want to keep them open, you can mute me for a minute. But for those of you who want to close them, I will teach you how to close them. Okay? So everybody just close your eyes and take a deep breath in to recenter your energy. And we're just going to take a moment of gratitude and appreciation for all the love, guidance, and support we received in this space today. Acknowledging the frequency of oneness, knowing that any shifts made within us extend beyond us. And it's with this final Om that we will close the Akashic Records. The records are now closed. How's everybody feeling?
So good.
Energized.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can move. I can move.
I feel like today's show went by really fast.
It sure did.
It went by extremely fast. And maybe it's because I was kicked off twice, but
No, I think it's, being in the record alters time.
yeah.
I do believe that.
Well, because there is no
Absolutely.
time in the records. Time
That's
is like,
exactly right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
For sure. So thank you all. And next week, please be here because we have we have Darius Barazon Day coming on. It will be pre-recorded, but we will be on with him and answering your comments. And he's an amazing light. He has been for years. He's been doing this before Facebook was cool. He was on he's been in this business for a long time.
He's one of the OGs.
Original guys, and we just love him, and he's going to maybe just give us some ways to feel more congruent with what everything's going on, I would say. So yeah, and thank you for your healing light.
Absolutely.
You're so welcome. Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
I love that.
That was
Melinda,
amazing.
that's beautiful.
Oh wow, that's very cool. Melinda's first time in the records. I love
beautiful,
that.
Melinda. I love that so much. I'm so glad.
She was shown, I love that. First time she was shown who she really was. It wasn't her first time in the records, but it was the first time that she was shown. And every time you go in the records, it's another experience. Like it's never the same every time. It's definitely a different, enlightening experience every single time. You never know what you're gonna get. You know?
That's what I said when I first started this work as a business, and I was like, all right, so I teach people how to go into their records, and then what? Like, then I don't have anything left to talk about, And I'm like, no.
That's where it begins.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's just amazing how much it just continues to expand, and how none of us here still know everything that we can know from that space.
No, and we couldn't handle it if we did.
No.
It's a trip and never have to leave home, every time. Every day.
Well, and that's why it needs to take some time, right? Because if we got healed in a split second, our bodies would be so rocked, right? That we'd be like, "Oh, I can't take this. It's too much of a shift." So they're so gentle about it, little by little, and they ease our physical bodies into this shift, which is so loving.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Laura. That was amazing. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for showing up, as you are every single day. We are honored by you. And I have one final announcement before we go, and that is the winner of last week's Share It Out, which is Pamela. And I'm probably going to butcher your last name, and I'm sorry, but I think it's Langone. You won with me, and I will contact you and get that set up. Please shout out this week so that you can win with Rhonda. I have it written down. Win with Rhonda, and Rhonda is amazing, so you don't want to miss your chance. So share this out, invite your friends. You have all week to get it shared out, and we'll announce the winner in 2 weeks, actually, because we won't while we're pre-recorded. But yeah, find out the winner in 2 weeks. We'll have 2 winners. So awesome, and we love you guys all so much. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done it, just subscribe because it really helps us out and
Yes.
gets more. We can say, hey, we've got 1,000 subscribers, so come on in. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So
And if anybody happens to use Periscope, we are there. You know, check us out there too.
Yeah,
We're live there right now. And let us know that it's working. Have a beautiful week, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Namaste.